Hey guys, welcome back to Cracked Housing Fab. We're gonna start out today. We did some improvements on the Tacoma. Threw a tonneau cover on there, replaced a wore out transmission mount and a drive shaft bearing. Let us know guys if you think any of that stuff will be cool. It's not really what we do on our channel, but I don't know, leave in a comment, let us know if you'd be interested in seeing anything like that. So yeah, we did that. Kurt and I took a week off. We've been going like crazy the last couple months, but yeah, and then on the G8, replaced a coil and did all the spark plugs on that, changed a strut mount bearing, so that's in good shape now, running good. And our next project is coming up, guys. Ooh. Here it is. We're gonna do the 4-wheel drive CROSSKART build like we talked about. So as you can see, we're gonna start with the 600cc crotch rocket in all of its 90s glory with the awesome pink and orange graphics on it and the purple rims. And yeah, thing's pretty cool.
All right guys, so we pulled all the parts out of the Subaru, that late 90s Forester we tore apart. Actually show them that cutaway video.
All right guys, to give you a little bit of background about the bike. I bought this like a year ago because I've been wanting to build a CROSSKART for so long. And so just give you a quick little background about the bike. It's a 95 YZF600R. Obviously it's from the 90s, so it's like super 90s, and like the color scheme and everything it just screams 90s. But yeah, so it's a 6-speed. I looked up online, it made between 80 and 90 horsepower, so pretty powerful bike. I think it'll serve us well for what we're going to do with it, but we have a lot of good parts on here. We're going to try to reuse the gauge pod and all that, but yeah, we're excited, man. This thing is, I mean, it's actually a pretty clean bike, and we're going to make it our next victim to tear it apart like we did with the dirt bike. But whatever, we want to make a cool project and show you guys and bring you guys along with us. So all right guys, we went out to a little spot where there's like not a lot of people and not a lot of houses around. There's like a little paved area right here. We're gonna pull the bike off the trailer really fast and just rip a gnarly burnout with it. I mean, we might as well send the bike off in a big smoke cloud. It'll be fun. Check it out. All right guys, so while Kurt and I took the last week off, we picked up some of the material that we're gonna need for this. So this is some of the steel tube we're gonna use. This is 1 1/4" 083 wall thickness. This we're going to use for all the control arms and build all the control arms out of that. And then we have 1.5 inch 083 wall thickness, that all of the structure and the frame and the roll bar and all that's going to be made out of that. So we picked up that. We have roughly 140 feet of it over here. So we've got plenty of it to work with. And so that should be pretty solid and substantial for what we're going to do. And yeah, we're going to show you some more details.
All right, so on the front, we have the spindles out of the Subaru, which obviously the Subaru is 4-wheel drive. So we have the nice ball joint and everything. And the cool thing about the Subaru stuff is it's pretty light and compact. So that'll be for steering. We'll have our steering. We'll, you know, extend these if we have to. But the cool thing is we are using a rear diff out of a Subaru. We actually found another one on eBay for 80 bucks. So we'll put that up front. Some rear CV shafts that we're going to modify to fit in the front hubs. And it's going to be a very simple and solid setup for the 4-wheel drive.
Yep, and then so we're going to repeat the same thing in the back, and we're obviously going to have to flip one of the differentials, whatever one works out that flips or whatever. And then all this stuff back here, this is the rear hubs out of the Subaru. Obviously they don't turn because of the rear. And then yeah, and then we also have the brake assemblies for up front, calipers and all that stuff. We use the brakes for that. So yeah, just give you a little bit of idea of what the parts we took out of the Subaru was.
Not only did we get all the cool drivetrain parts out of the $300 car, we also have the factory Subaru wheels. We're going to use these. We'll probably sandblast them and paint them black or a different color. And it has 4 matching snow tires that have enough tread left. So we're probably going to run on these the first few times or for a while. But the cool thing is I think we have over $1,000 in parts on this thing that we got for $300, and we still scrapped the car and got money back. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
All right, so Kurt and I were brainstorming on some ideas on how to make the drivetrain. Obviously, we were using the Subaru stuff, but we didn't know how we were going to connect it all and put it all together, you know, and make it 4-wheel drive, because we kind of feel like that's the part that sets this thing apart from other CROSSKART builds that are out there on YouTube. So we came up with actually a really cool idea. So we're going to take the engine out of the bike, and it's a 4-cylinder, and most people when they build them, they send them in the way that they would be sitting in the bike, which makes sense, right? So Kurt and I got to thinking, like, man, we have kind of an interesting idea of how to make it work. So we want to take the differential, and obviously this is pretty cool because it ends up with a flange here, just a 4-bolt flange. So our idea is, and hopefully when I go back to work, because all the stuff going on, you guys already know about that, but I want to see if I can make something that would fit here, bolt to this, and then we'll bolt the sprocket from the wheel to that. So that way it'll be in the CROSSKART this way. And actually we're going to take the motor, instead of it being this way, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, have the sprocket there line up with the sprocket on the engine. And that way then we'll just have one simple drive shaft that'll go from one differential to the other. We have a local drive shaft shop that can pretty much make whatever we need. And so if we get a second U-joint like this one, we just cut the drive shaft off the car because it was too much of a hassle to get it out of there. And then so we just need a second set of U-joints for back here. So that way when we put it all together, it'll be really solid. We'll be able to ride this thing as hard as we want. I mean, with the Subaru drivetrain, it should be plenty strong because it's moving a 3,000-pound car with a couple hundred horsepower. And this thing's gonna be way light, maybe a third or less of the weight. And I think that's gonna be, it'll be pretty solid. We can ride this thing and, you know, dump the clutch and do whole shots with it. And the other cool thing is, if we just wanna leave it rear-wheel drive, we can just simply unbolt the drive shaft, take the drive shaft out, and then it'll just be rear-wheel drive. We can go do power slides and burnouts or whatever we wanna do with it. So yeah, we were just kind of thinking of how we're gonna do that, and we came up with just usually the most simple way is the best way, and I think that's going to be strong and simple. All right, I want to give you an overview of what the whole entire build is going to look like. So we roughly laid everything out. It may be a little bit shorter than this, somewhere in there. We don't really know what's going to end up being like yet, but this is roughly the dimensions of what it's going to be. So our plan is to keep the frame rails really narrow. And if you guys, if this is the first video you're seeing from us, we built a 450 engine powered lawn tractor called Not So Simplicity. we used a Can-Am Maverick seat in that. And we want to use that seat again because it's really comfortable and we actually really like it. So I'm going to find another one on eBay and we'll use that. But like I say, if this is the first video you've seen, we'll give the little descriptor, the little pop-up box, and you guys can go over there and check that out from us too. That thing's cool. So yeah, we want to keep it really narrow, like as wide as like the seat and your hips are, and that way it's really tight, compact. Our plan is to have some control arms. They'll probably be about 16 or 18 inches long. We're gonna kind of see, we'll kind of know more once we start laying everything out. But yeah, so we're gonna have the long, and we want to use, we're thinking we have the shocks left off the front of the YZ450. We kind of thought they'd be cool to mount them in here and have a lot of travel. You know, have like 12, 14 inches of travel so we can really pound and jump over stuff. Obviously the same thing in front. We'll have to figure out shocks for that, but yeah, we're thinking basically engine, like we said, this way, seat, your legs, pedal box, and you know, steering. Yeah, but I think so. This will be roughly about the size of what it's gonna be. I tell you what, man, Kurt and I have been talking about this for the last couple weeks now, just thinking and brainstorming. I'm just freaking stoked to build one of these, man. I've been watching videos online and I can't wait to build this thing. It's gonna be so awesome and so much fun. And I'm so glad that we're able to take you guys along with us. We're thankful for all the guys that watching our channel and checking us out, and we appreciate it, guys. So yeah, we just want to give you a rough overview of what it's going to look like.
Hey guys, so we hope that you guys are super excited about our vision and our ideas for this project. I know Sean and I are very excited to get started on this thing.
All right, guys, make sure and subscribe. Turn on the notifications. That way you can see the updates as we're building this, because we're going to get started on this thing really soon, and we're definitely going to be pumped. And man, I can't wait to get started and see what this thing's going to turn into. So yeah, stay tuned, guys, and thanks for watching Cracked Housing Fab.